There's a law on the books that says that law enforcement is required that within 72 hours of arresting you, they're supposed to tell OSBI. The problem is that probably 80% of the law enforcement agencies in Oklahoma either don't file the records or they don't update them correctly, or sometimes they file them wrong. The interesting part is that further down in that law, there's another part that says that once the arrest is disposed of, they are also supposed to do that update as to what actually happened after the arrest. And the frustrating part is that that almost universally never happens. So we do get a ton of records in Oklahoma where the arrest itself is reported correctly. So you'll see something like, so-and-so got arrested on this date for DUI, and then it just says referred to the DA. And then after that, there's no further update. So no one knows what happened. And the story that I like to tell about this situation is I had a young girl early in my practice who came in and said, I cannot get a job anywhere. I don't know what is wrong. I'm a good employee. I've got a good work history. I don't know what's happening. But I went to McDonald's and applied. And, after being turned down at 10 or 15 places. And it was all good. The interview went great. And I went back in because I thought I wanted to check up on whether or not I was going to get the job because I really need the money. And when I went back in and talked to the manager said, he recognized me. He said, we do not hire people like you. This young girl is like, what are you talking about? I'm a good employee, And he says, we don't hire people who hurt other people. And she was like, what are you talking about? And so then the McDonald's manager grabs her background check and hands it to her. And on the background check is an arrest. I don't remember which agency. They arrested her for murder in the first degree, and then the disposition was referred to the DA. And that was it. There was no further record. Who knows? So then this woman tries to explain to the McDonald's manager, who's having none of it, tries to explain, no, there was a murder in her neighborhood. The police came through and picked up a bunch of people, interviewed a boatload of them, trying to figure out who did it. She was one of the ones that got interviewed and released. They listed it as an arrest. They never updated what happened. This poor woman went through 15 job applications, and having to go through the humiliation of having somebody yell at you, essentially, over something you didn't do. It's just awful. It's just awful on all fronts. So we were able to get that expunged for her, and she never had to deal with it again. But it's just that's a great example of what happens. If you have questions about criminal law, give us a ring. We're happy to help.